to the park. I'm obviously super early. I really thought that even though I was really early today, that there would be people starting to show up, like since last night, because that's what happened in Alabama the night before. So it seems as though this is where it's at, or where it's going to be. I don't see a base camp. I don't see a bunch of people. So I don't know if this is going to happen, or what's going on here. I'm going to see. I can talk to some people, see what's going on. Here is Armstrong Park. I think the sign's about to pass up so you can see it behind me. So this is Louis Armstrong Park. It's literally on the edge of where the city is, right? So, well, not what I would call the city, but I would call that area the French Quarter. And the French Quarter is 10 blocks by about 8-9 blocks. And yeah, are you guys here for the rally that's going to go on today? Did you hear about the rally? So they have the Antifa and the white supremacists are coming in today, and they're going to be rallying from here all the way to Jackson Square. They're going to try and take Jackson Square down today. And it's on the internet and everything. I'm doing live feeds everywhere, trying to show what's going on, so that. But I don't see any barriers. I don't see anything. So I'm now going to go to Jackson Square to see what's going on there. Have a beautiful day. Starts at 1 or at 4. I'm not around that time. 1 to 4, I think. No doubt. Okay. So, hi everybody. So that was Armstrong Park, as you can see behind me right there. And there's nothing going on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go all the way to Washington Square Park, which is about 4 or 5 blocks, and we'll check that out. Okay, so we'll show you what it looks like there, and what they're doing. So as soon as I get there, I'll go live again. And once again, I'm just going to keep doing this all day long, keep posting little live moments of where I'm at, what's going on, so that everybody can be filled in, who's out of the state, who doesn't know, who's out of the city, who has no idea what's going on. If you want some more information on this, you can check out the website that they're promoting. It's called the Antifa, I think is what it's called, which is they're anti-fascism. I think they're socialist communists who are against fascism, who are against white supremacy and Nazis, right? But then there's the Nazis that are also getting brought in, and they're obviously against everybody except for white people. And then there's another group, from what I understand, who is just the peace-loving hippies and the artists of the city who are just like, yo, are you going crazy? And I don't think anybody knows where to stand. This is not good, folks. This is not good, man. That's all I got to say. All right, so give me a minute. It's going to take me a minute to walk over there. If you can see from here all the way down, I'm going all the way down. So it's going to take me a couple blocks to get there. I don't want to keep you guys live for no reason. I'm trying to save my battery because I got to do this all day long. So if you have any questions or anything, or if you'd like to let other people know that I'm going to be doing this, please tag people in the video, or at least let people know through your social media that I will be on all day. All day. I mean, literally from the beginning of this thing to the end of the thing, I will be here. I'm going to charge my battery throughout the day, do whatever I need to. So, no, I'm not protesting myself, if anybody's asking. I don't think anybody is. Hey, Mark, how you doing? But I will be videotaping and watching what's going on. I mean, obviously, I'll protest against the Nazis and against the Antifa, because what the hell do you want those guys around for? But, 1 p.m. today, Congo Square, right there. Yeah, stay hydrated, please, and pace yourself. It's going to be a warm day. Yes, Mark, I totally agree. I just went to Congo Square just to see what was going on, to see if they had a setup or anything. There's absolutely nobody there. So now going to Jackson Square to see what the setup there is, to see what they're doing, and how they're going to protect the protesters on some level. I'm worried that something else will happen. I'm hoping not, obviously, but I'm worried that something might happen today. So Barcelona, then Finland, today New Orleans. Now last night, I don't know if you know, but they had something going on in Alabama or something like that. It's an anti-protest there. So from what I understand, this is going to keep going on all the way until Labor Day. So these things are not stopping anytime soon. The white supremacist group, the Antifa groups, they are literally doing everything they can to create martial law in the country. I think once one of these things goes really bad and people start using guns and start going crazy with each other, that's when I think things are going to get shitty quick. That's just my opinion. I mean, from what I can tell so far, it doesn't look like the most righteous and smart people are dealing with the situation right now, i.e. the Nazis. They're not very smart kids. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. I posted this like 2 days ago or last night. Some guy who is in the white supremacist party, Nazi, right? He's on video. He's like, fuck everybody, right? He had to leave his city. Okay, also, noon today at City Hall, and NOLA's where the protest is. Yeah, so I just made a video about all this, and I was walking down Bourbon Street while talking about it. So, Mark, I talked about how the streets are being redone for no reason whatsoever, how today, of all days, is the day that we have to go to the city. You know what I'm saying? Like we had to go all the way. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mark. You know, and then I also talked about how the mayor is like, we want him out of the city. The guy has been raping money and taking things from people and all kinds of crazy stuff. The day that we have a protest of Jackson Square is the same day that we're supposed to have a protest of the mayor? Right? It's a little off, a little weird. So now what you're telling me is that the entire city is going to be nothing but protests, right? Protests at the mayor, protests at the freaking thing. Hey, whoever came to New Orleans this weekend, I'm sorry. Because it doesn't represent the city. It's a beautiful city. I love the city. I mean, I've traveled all over the world, friends. And I love New Orleans. I love the city. There's something beautiful about, like, these streets. Look at these streets. Look at these buildings. That alone. And let's not get into the art that's constantly everywhere, the music that's constantly everywhere, the people who are here are amazing. Everybody loves each other. I haven't had a person look at me and be like, hey, you're a fuck. Nothing, man. This is the most, like, artistic, loving city I've ever found in my entire life. And look, I don't know if you know this, but the white supremacists tried to come here a couple months ago and start shit, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. It's because you can't fight where there's love and art. You just can't. And the artists, they're just like, oh, yeah, these guys are douchebags. So, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. All right, so I said I wasn't going to do it, but we ended up doing it. I am now here at Jackson Square Park. Let me turn around for you so you can see it. So we're now headed into the park area. This right here to the side is the church. Now, many people don't know this, but there was a phenomenal monument here. This is actually what was the old Katrina Museum, which was also part of the church. Now, what's really crazy here is that recently, where the front of this is, there used to be a boat. And the boat used to be right here. So the boat's not here anymore. But the boat that was here was a boat that saved hundreds and hundreds of people during Katrina. And they kept it here as a way of showing, the Katrina Museum. And so now the museum, and this is, by the way, one of the best museums that made the most money for New Orleans was the Katrina Museum. And, okay, so this is Jackson Square. This is where it is, okay? And hello, beautiful people. How are we doing today? Good to see you guys. How are we doing, man? So, okay, so they've obviously, they've blocked off some of the areas of where, Katrina, you're funny. I love the way you talk about me. So they closed off the area. And I mean, look at this. This is the art that you see in New Orleans, and this is the beginning. This is the morning. Okay, this whole thing, by another hour or two, will be filled with artists all the way across. How we doing, dear? And like I said, they've closed out the area in which Jackson Square is at. This is Jackson Square right here, and I don't know if you can see it. I'll try and zoom in on it. That right there. Let's see if I can zoom in. No, it's not going to let me. Yeah, there it is. No. All right, well, that right there is the monument, which I can't get to because there's a big fence, and they're not allowing people into it. Now, I heard, from what I understood, they were going to be allowing people in there to do some kind of the protest. But at the present moment, I see that it's closed and it's locked and you can't get in. And that's all the way around. Now, I'm not sure if they did that for last night or today because they thought maybe somebody would try to come in last night. Gotta go. Doctor's appointment. Have a beautiful day. Be careful. And I wish you well on your doctor's appointment. So we're going to see what happens. One day at a time, guys. We're going to one moment at a time. And I'll keep posting on everything that's going on. Are we on?
Hello, how are you?
It's so fucking hot. So what are you going to do with the protest?
Okay.
The protest.